Hey, before we get going, let's talk about the new microphone. It's a Zoom ZDM1 large diaphragm dynamic microphone. And what that means is it plugs into a standard XLR cable and into your mixer. And then everything else is going through the compressor. And so when you see the red lights, the red light is how much it's compressing, and then the green light is just regular signal. Okay, so I'm using the Audacity program and just going to go over some basics here. So first thing first, we're going to check our audio input, and where it says recording device, we want to make sure that it's set to your audio interface. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit record here. What you want to do when you're doing voiceover is you want to start the recording process first, and then you will hit play on the video to sync everything up, or to help you sync everything up. So what I'll do is I'll hit record on the audio part first, that's the Audacity, and then when it comes time to press play on the video, I will make this noise. And I'll know from that point forward, I want to capture that audio for synchronization. So you can try this a few times. Once you're happy with the voiceover piece, you can actually go through the voiceover piece. This is what I do. And we'll cut from the little click noise that I made. Go to left click and hold that all the way, and then just throw that piece away. Hit delete. And then I know this is the piece I wanted to keep for per se. This is all just demonstration. So first thing I'll do is highlight, and it'll probably be the only audio piece you have there. So once you've highlighted it, I go to effects, I go to compressor, and then I compress it a little bit, clean up the signal. Do this first. Then you'll probably notice that some noise has gotten louder there. To eliminate that noise, you can highlight the noise, and then there's a little thing that says silence audio selection right here. Little button. Click on that, and the noise is gone. I can quickly go through the blank spots. Okay, that was the wrong button. That's everything but what you selected, so that's the opposite. I can quickly go through and remove all the audio, and that's probably like a breath or some kind of weirdness. I don't care. I know that's not a word, so I can do that as well. And that cleans up the audio, but it does more than that. And then the last piece here, you just go ahead and hit delete on. It does more than clean up your audio. It forces you to listen to your audio to make sure that it's okay. And it's kind of like a quality control. That's the way I look at it. It may seem redundant, but it really does help. So if you are not happy with the way the audio turned out, say you don't want to keep it, you can either X out to close the entire section, or I can just double click on this section and hit delete. Or X out, start over again. So that's the quick and easy way to manage that part of it. Okay, so I'm going to record another piece here to show you how to save this when you're done. Okay, so if you've cleaned it up and you figured out what you want to do with the audio and it's all ready to go, then you're going to go ahead and hit stop on this, and then wherever this is after you've fixed it or edited it, you're going to go File, Export Audio, pick the location. That's why I always make an audio only folder in my voiceover folder inside the folder that is the name of the episode. I try to keep everything in the folder where you're going to edit everything together to the final product. And I'm going to go name it something simple. Doesn't matter. As long as you keep the numbering system the same, it's easy to find. And then as soon as you hit, that was just a naming the file there. Then you're going to hit export. Now it's done. Now, when I go back to my Clipchamp main page here, I'm going to create a video real quick so I can test this for you. Test. Okay, so let me grab a piece of video from down here in the content library. Where are you? Yeah, that's fine. Like that. Okay, so now to add that piece of audio we just made, I'm going to go to Your Media, Import, and then I'm going to go back to that folder where I saved it. There it is. And then it's going to load. Sometimes this takes forever. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this so we can see what's going on. Now I can take that audio piece and drag it to the bottom here. And then if I need to sync it up, I can move it around. And let's demonstrate this a little bit better. Zoom in. You zoom in as far as you want. So if I have to move it around, I can move by tiny increments to get it to synchronize and line up. And that is how you do your voiceover. When you start filming, you want to mount whatever your camera is to something stable. Otherwise, it's going to look a little bit weird and amateur. The other thing is, if you're not making eye contact with the lens, it looks really distracting. So one of the things I learned how to do is I can reference a script-like thing running on an iPad right here down below in such a way that I just glance at it real quick and it's not distracting. Another thing is, if you've got take that you like and you want to marry it together with another take, got to put some kind of break in between it. A lot of times you'll see YouTubers, they'll zoom out to 4K if they've got the kind of graphics card or the camera to do it. Another thing you can do is you can insert some B-roll and then talk over that and then go back to the live shot of you. That's a way of marrying two pieces together. But there's a lot of different ways you can go about marrying that cut. It is really distracting when you have a cut and you moved your head or something happened, and then you're trying to marry those two pieces together and you see this little weird disconnect. That is jarring and unprofessional, and it just jumps right off the screen at you. It's not very good. So those are the two different ways you can get around filming. You can glance real quick, and that's good for whenever you're doing the script. If you're doing something really scripted, you can always just glance at. Or you know what? Here's another thing. Build in a pause. Yeah, see, I'm goofing up here because this is one take. Build in a pause so that when it's time for you to, look and glance at a script, make it obvious. Go like, oh, and then come back, or there's an artistic way to do that. But if you're constantly looking at a screen like this and not at the camera, you've seen that on every Zoom call. It's because people don't know any better. So people don't know any better, that's fine for a Zoom call, but it's not okay for a YouTube video. You want to look right at the screen. You're talking to people, you're teaching people, you're doing stuff. Very, very important to do that. As always, if you have any questions, you can contact me at studioonaBudget@gmail.com. We'll see you next time. Thanks.